when they sold us out for $1.
And the sad part is we still selling each other out right now, not even knowing it.
Right. But that's where it stems from. Because I'm going to be honest. We can go to Africa right now. Or even people in Africa. It doesn't matter. If you travel to the wrong place, it can be over for you. And matter of fact, even if you travel to Africa and you over there with somebody you don't know, you know you have to be careful. You have to be on your seat. You have to watch your six. Because they're trying to take your stuff. But see, the thing is, people don't understand, even though stuff is the way it is in America, America is one of the safest countries to travel in. As far as, you know, the way they got things in place. Everywhere else, like, it's really guerrilla warfare, third world country. So it's like, to make the change, I always say we need to be the example we want to see. And then what we are is what we attract. But, you know, I'm going to leave it there because, like I say, it's deep. It can get deeper than this. And I'm going to just leave it right down the surface.
No, I appreciate that. There's one thing I want to say before I let you speak. I got you, Howard. You can speak next when I say the statement. The problem that I have with this whole thing, as far as me looking one way and being perceived one way, but not knowing who I am. Just because I walk with a hoodie and I got my hat down does not mean I'm a criminal. Does that mean that you should be walking around and be scared of me because I have on a hoodie and my hat down to here? That is the perception that people get. Oh, he a stick-up kid, or he about to come rob me, or he's about to come do something to me. Let me clutch my pearls. No, not necessarily. It's this, and like we said, it's the stereotype number one, and it's what these people perceive when they see us. The problem is that we don't want to take the time to teach these other races about Black culture so they can understand who we truly are and why we move the way we move and why we think the way we think and why we do the things that we do. But like I also said before, the sad part about it is you got all these races that are turning around and talking about, they have fear of us, but they want to be like us. They want to listen to our music. They want to dress the way we dress. They want to talk the way we talk. They want to walk the way we walk. They want to date our women and our men. Let's call a spade a spade. But yet they turn around, but when it comes to the whole actual, they be nervous. Oh, no, can't do that. Nah, for what? So if you're going to be that way, then stay away. Because it's annoying that I have to wake up and I have to put on a certain persona in order to be looked at in this world. No, why can't I just be who I am? Why can't I wear my hoodie and put my hat down? What's the problem? What are you scared of? Am I approaching you in that manner where I'm going to look like I'm going to do something to you? No. So I have this theory, and it was something that I wanted to speak on. I wanted to write a book called Fear of a Black Planet. But I'm going to leave that alone. Go ahead, Sister Howard. It's on you, sister. You got it. I'm going to unmute your mic because apparently...
Oh, hey, brother, I would retitle that book to Fear of the Black American Heritage. I would just change it to that because the Black Planet, everybody around this planet does not... everybody around this planet does not have the heritage that you're talking about. It's literally just us. Right? Whatever we do, our energy, when we walk down the street, we walk with an energy of we come to prevail, right? Whether we got on a suit or whether we got on a hoodie, right? It's because we walk with the energy, we come to prevail, and we come to check all your microaggressions. Like, it is what it is. So that book...
Okay, can I speak now?
Go ahead. Yeah, it's on you.
Okay, thank you. Can I have a second? And I honestly agree with everything you were saying, Samai, if I'm saying your name correctly, Samai. And I'm also...
it's Simon. Yeah, it's Simon.
Simon? Oh, okay. The N is not on there.
Yeah, it's Simon, but yeah, it's Simon. Same thing.
Okay. I agree where you are coming from because in my everyday life, I do not be around people who think logical outside of emotions. And as a woman, I'm saying that. I don't be around people who are logically infused versus emotionally infused. So when you said about how Black people are insightful and we're going through all of this, and I'm like, okay, I hear you, but how can we fix this though? I don't know how to fix it. And I don't know how to operate. Like today, I really should just be on my computer and working. But I'm not working right now because I don't have to. So I have earned my right to be in a place in my life that I really don't have to do nothing that I don't want to do. Do I go through BS? Heck yeah, I go through BS. But do I deal with people who are not logically sound? Heck yeah. So I'm trying to figure out, how do we move forward as a people and as a person that you logically have a better understanding than your emotional sound? If that makes sense.
No, so let me answer that in the best way possible. First of all, we got to get over our own selves. We got to get out of our own heads and get out of our own way. Number one. Number two is this: we got to stop looking at each other as a threat. We look at each other as a threat. No matter how we look at it, we can say, no, I don't, but yes, we do. We got to get over this envious thing of being envious of one another and just allow people to be themselves. Instead of, you have to be this way, you have to that's the problem right there, where we always trying to tell people the way that they have to be, but yet we're not even that way. So until we can learn how to let certain things go, we will never,
I kind of disagree with that though. I kind of disagree a little bit with that, and I'm sorry if I cut you off.
I want to hear what you guys say.
I kind of disagree with that because you could literally try to understand the fool way more than you try to understand yourself. And you're like, but in your brain, you already know they a fool. But is it my right to call them a fool? Heck no. I shouldn't even call them a fool. So I'm now trying to understand where you're coming from. I want to understand where you're coming from because I want us to live amongst each other peacefully. And it don't go like that.
That's because
it don't go like that.
But it can. But the problem is we base too much stuff on society and the things that we watching instead of truly educating ourselves and educating our children. Number one, stop.
I disagree.
When I say this, stop allowing your children to spend more time with your children. Number one, educate your child instead of letting these computers and letting this music and letting all this other stuff educate your child. That's number one.
No, but I disagree with that because I teach my son how to be a real smart guy.
So why and I'm like, so you disagree with what I just said, even though I just said the same thing that you just said. Stop putting this rap music and all this nonsense in our children's.
But I don't do that, sir.
Exactly. So I'm telling you what not to do, but you just disagree. That you do it to your kids, and I'm telling you the right. Right.
Already don't do it. I don't do
I'm
that.
not saying you.
I think what she's saying is she already she identifies a lot of the things that you're talking about, brother, and she's already applying it, but she still's not seeing the results. Around.
Yes,
and
it's so not working.
But the problem is these parents are not willing to put that work in. Even though they may start something, but they don't finish the process. It's work. It's the same thing when you get married. Marriage is, if you look at it like this, marriage is work. When you marry somebody, no matter the good and the hardship, you still got to put that work in to get to know this person. So the same thing with your kids. You can start something with your children, but a lot of them do not keep it going.
But I got one son, and I'm teaching him how to be a stand-up guy. But what I say, does it hold weight? It don't hold. Like, he actually maneuvers properly. He does. He maneuvers properly because I teach him not to be no coward. Don't be no BITCH. Don't do nothing outside of your character. What do you stand for? What do you stand for? So I teach him that, but also he gives me the brunt of it back, and he be like, "What you stand for?" And he be on my ass, and I'm like, "Okay, I'm
And this
teaching
is
you."
the thing where we say we can actually learn from our children. Some parents don't look at it like that. They look at it as my way, my way, my way, my
Okay,
way.
we can have this conversation. We can have this conversation.
Sometimes
Okay.
we have to
We
learn
can
from
have this
our
conversation.
and sit back and listen and ask our kids, what is it? What do you see yourself? What do you want to do? Like, because if we keep trying to press a narrative on our children, they will become rebellious because they don't want to live the life that we live. So we have to
Yeah.
actually go into their spaces and
Yes.
sit down and listen to what they have to say because our children have a lot of things that they want to tell us.
But this is why I was bringing up Smirin and what he was saying, because it is about the youth. And he was saying something about the youth and about what the government are teaching our youth. I have to sign a waiver that says, can Lance read this book? And I'm reading the book and I'm like, this is boy on boy. This is girl on girl. What the heck is this? And so I have to say yes or no. And they know it's messed up. It's messed up. So yes, I got a third grader, and they are teaching him to accept something that as a 15 or 16 or 20-year-old or somebody bigger than him that don't have a right to understand what they understanding. This is different.
And says, you know what's terrible? In the moment he say no, they're gonna try to label him, and that's where that's what I was talking about earlier. The moment,
I heard you.
And that's why what I'm saying, when we start community building, we can't keep including your little friend. I hate to go this direction. So look at it like Christianity, right? When people try to say sin is sin, and you can, bro, if you have a friend or a family member that is operating and that's against your morals, we have to be now comfortable with cutting people off, because we do got family members that are in these agendas. They want to be heavy feminists, or they want to be heavy LGBT, or they want to be heavy whatever it is, heavy just.
But this is why I'm teaching kindness. I would rather my son be kind, but don't be no sucker. You can be kind all day, but don't be no sucker. But
this was happening with the children. Yeah, and I applaud you, sis. I do. I applaud you, because there's not many mothers that's trying to tell their son don't be no sucker. A lot of times these, and it's not the parents, I don't feel either. It's some of it, but a lot of it is the social media, and no, but a lot of them is their social groups. This government of the United States, and specifically the Democratic Party, has put in front of children.
Brother, I don't do politics, please.
I'm not doing, but
no, because here's my thing, and I say this, and I had to talk. When it comes to parties, that's the division right there, because we blaming one party and not blaming the other. But at the end of the day, they are both to blame, regardless.
I see what you're saying. So, bro, let me flip it this way. I see what you're saying. So in our community, it's the Black American community, we did something very wrong about 40 years ago. Once Martin Luther King and MX got unalived, we did something terrible. We introduced a new trauma response to them being unalived. In our heritage, we told our own people, it's two things we don't talk about. We don't talk about religion, and we don't talk about politics at the table. We were completely wrong for doing that. The moment we told ourselves we should stop talking politics, you have to understand, just because you don't want to talk about it, that seat, that chair, that table, that room is still going to be organized. And if you're not in that room, somebody else is gonna go in that room and make that decision for you.
This is why I tell my son gonna be a sucker. Like,
may I interrupt a minute, please?
I'm sorry?
May I interrupt a minute?
Please. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry.
No. Everybody needs to be 1 second, please.
Okay.
I don't want this to be a three-way conversation, because there are other people on the panel that have been respectfully waiting to speak, such as Perfect. I got Problem Solver. I got Andrea. I got Savvy, and I got Helena. Respectfully. So we can come back to this conversation, but I want to hear everybody else's perspective so that we can move forward. Because I don't want it to just be just us talking, and we have other people that's been waiting to speak respectfully. So I'm going to ask Perfect, please, in that order. I'm going to go Perfect, Problem, Andrea, Savvy, and then Warren in that order.
How y'all doing, man? How y'all doing today? I'm blessed. I want to say, I see what's really going on in this world. It's really deep. I'll say it like this: a lot of people, they need love, and what I mean by that is that when God showed Himself, He showed you His love. And I acknowledge that because He showed me His love, individual, personally. But I want to say is that, like I say, is that a lot of people don't know what love is. And when you act on the word, not only the word love, but it's an action word, But what I'm saying is that it's so much confusion in this world because a lot of people don't have a love in their heart. And people trying to search for love in the wrong places, and they're trying to find it in people. No, you have to find it in God, because it's in Him that we live by. And it's like when they say Jesus comes to fulfill the law is already fulfilled. It's finished, it's done. But it's just that we go against the law, mankind. And it's sad to say this, but I should say it like this. It's like when I had my back against the wall in 2019, excuse me, I went through some very, a deep experience that I never went through before. And it's like, when God showed me Himself, He showed me Himself as, like, it's a beautiful thing, man. It's amazing. It's like, He showed me kind, love, peace, love, and joy, happiness, but I received it. But what I'm saying is that the majority is going against that. His love that He put out in this world, and He give us a chance to get right. But everybody have their own different opinions, and that's what it is. We looking at people instead of looking at Him. This is a God world we're living in today. He giving us a chance to get it right, but His mercy and grace, it's on us. But it's just that nobody, I don't care who in office, nobody want to see God's wrath, because when He shows who He is, His wrath, no man can stop it. That's why we all need to come together and help each other and pray for each other and love each other. Don't love what is evil, go against what is evil, but love what is right. And I heard about Martin Luther King. He spoke about love, but he had love in him. Because, like I say, that when a person going against what is right, he is wrong. If I'm going against what is right, I'm wrong for that for myself. That's why there's so much confusion in this world. Because, excuse me, nobody don't want to be corrected. Everybody have their own opinion. It's what I think. No, it's not about what I think. It's about what God knows, what God wants. It's what God will, what He wants for us. That's why we want so much confusion in this world, because everybody, like I say, everybody doing them. Although God gave us a free will, excuse me, but still, it's what we choose, if that makes sense.
But God talks about militant, and you have to be militant. And I'm going to stop it right there. But God does talk about militant.
You said who?
Absolutely. God is, and this one, when people bring up religion, when they start, and I'm not coming at you sideways, brother. I'm not. I promise you, I'm not.
And I love him too. I love him too.
And I rock with the Father.
Yeah.
But I think when people bring up religion, they talk about the Father like He this soft man up on these clouds. The Father that you talking about, the one that I read about, is one that will smoke you. He will smoke you. He's not to play with. So if you really want, so if you really want to follow Him, and if you really want to listen to His words that He's telling you, you let Him use you. You let Him use you.
What you're getting is, you gotta understand this. Before we go there, and I'm gonna come to you, problem solver, because I want to move forward a little bit, because I don't have that much time yet. The thing that we have to understand about God, what makes Him so amazing is, number one, He gives us free will, and we way off topic. I know you're right. He gives us free will, number one. So we have the right to do what we have the right to choose, walk, talk, move how we choose to move. But another thing about Him is, we are living in a time right now, what we call borrowed time. This is borrowed time.
We all been on borrowed time.
It's always been borrowed time. It's always been it's always been borrowed time, and it's always been the worst, the best election of your life.
So what I'm saying
Like,
is this. He's giving you ample
We've
time.
always been on that.
He's giving
I'm
you
not
ample
talking
time.
about our mothers, our grandmothers,
I can't agree with that.
Okay, listen,
We've
can I
always
speak?
been on borrowed time.
Hold on, we're not gonna cut the host off, understand?
I'm sorry. I don't
Cut
know.
nobody else off when they're speaking, just please respectfully.
Well, make your point though. Make your point. What's your point?
Let me,
May I interrupt, please?
hold on, let me do this real quick. Thank you. What we don't do is tell me what my point is on my panel. At the end of the day, I make my point, and then I move forward. I make a statement, I move forward, period. We don't do that, make my point, because if you don't agree with what I'm saying, that falls on you. Like I said, this is a non-opinionated live. If you have an opinion, and you want to state your opinion, fine, I have no problem with that. But at the end of the day, what we don't do is try to come for me if I'm allowing you on my panel to speak. So I'm going to stop there because I almost got into my. All right, thank you.
You should let God walk through you. You're about to let God work through you, man.
That's why, and this is
you should just let him
why
work.
sometimes I have to pause, and I pause myself. But when I'm going,
That's why I speak about love.
Solver, go ahead, my sisters. Welcome in. So we gonna go problem solver, Andrea, Savvy, and then I'm gonna come to you, Helen. I know you want to speak, so just please be patient with it.
Hey, beautiful people. Happy Tuesday to you all. I just want to speak to something called social engineering of our communities. I'm reading a book by Claude Anderson, and he talks about that there is and was and still is social engineering that affects us today. There was also, they did a research that looked at how they could socially engineer how we operate with each other and how we took away a sense of community and accountability. And so that kind of morphed into the Willie Lynch letter where we started to tear each other down because when we don't have resources, we fight amongst ourselves and we look at each other as the enemy. And so we begin to use social engineered stereotypes against each other. So if a person is dressed a certain way, we will look at them through the lenses of the stereotype, as opposed to looking at that person as a person. You know, it's almost looking at a homeless person and you have all these preconceived ideas about who they are, not knowing and understanding that they may have so many issues that this is where they ended up. And so we live in, and we perpetuate as Black people, the stereotypes. For example, baby mothers. That's a stereotype that was placed on us, and we perpetuate it.
Absolutely.
So my final point is this. Since there was social engineering to prevent us from operating in a collective, since there was studies that were created to divide us and to have us look at each other as if we are not a part of the same family, then what effort will we need to take in order to change that? Because I heard someone say something like, we took the men out of our homes. You can't move a man if you don't want to go. But however, if he's not capable of taking care of a family, what is he going to do? What is the mother going to do? She's going to try to feed her children above everything else. And you have to realize that our men have not been adequately employed. When you go back, way back, they weren't employed. They were living hand to mouth, just like everybody else was. So I think it's important for us to deconstruct the white supremacist talking points that we all use. Soon as we listen to a TV program and somebody does something, first thing we say, was they Black or white? That's a divisive talking point. We can actually listen to or listen to the type of crime that they did, and then say, okay, we understand that wasn't a white guy. That was a white guy because it was a mass murder. We follow into these frameworks that drive us to a point or to a engineering point that's where they want us until we start thinking about community. And I truly believe that our community got out of whack. Our men used to run the community. They used to be the ones that would, if they saw someone doing something on the street, a young man, they would pull him to the side. Our men had control in their families. But if you want a woman to go forward and control the family, that's out of order, which is why we're continuing to be out of order. Here's the thing, not to blame a man or a woman, because I've been married and I've been divorced. I've been married again. But here's the thing. We have to, despite what the world is saying, despite what the popular culture is saying, we have to love each other and believe that you are me and I am you, like we used to. We couldn't go outside our communities because we weren't welcome outside our own communities, which is why we built our own communities. We've got to get back to building our communities, because that's the only power that we are going to have and be able to show anybody our worth. When our black men show up in every community and say, okay, how can we make this better? Let's buy the block. Let's buy one house at a time. Let's build it. Mexicans are doing that. And black women, we have to be very intentional with our children. I raised a son, and I grew up with grandparents. I was raised by 2 grandparents. They had no more than a 7th grade education, and they worked as day workers in a hotel. What they learned was the King's English. And anytime that she heard me say something that wasn't the correct English, she corrected me, because she was around people who knew the difference. And in order for me to live in this society, she wanted me to be able to have the skills to be all that I could be. And so it's not about your education, it's about the expectation. As black women, we have to have a certain expectation for our children, despite where we landed. Our children must land on top of our shoulders or way above us. And so it's a matter of we have to deal with mental illness in our family. We have so many issues that we are blaming other people for until we look in our own house. Until I see my brother, my sister down the street, if they need something, I need to interject my life into theirs. Until we start holding each other's hands, until we start building neighborhoods, we are going to continue to be pulled so thin that it's so easy for us to be pulled apart. You know, they talk about a chain. We're as strong as the weakest link. If we don't start building a chain of communities that are strong, we won't be anything. We will not exist. And so we have to also we have to read that there was a social engineering. It had to be, in order to transform us into servants. And the same information and energy and expectation for us to be servants is still in the atmosphere. It didn't change. It's still there. The young boy who was walking through the neighborhood and they were following him. What is that?
Right.
That's old stuff.
Right. Come on, man.
That's not changed. So, and then the fact that there's so much more racism today than there ever was, or I won't say ever was, but it's just so much more heightened. That's an old behavior. And it's for a reason. It's for resources. It's making sure that they don't get to the bottom like we are. But one thing I really want to do, and I'm gonna land my plane, I want us to start thinking that we belong here, that everything here is ours. We built this land, these hills, these mountains, everything. We have our blood soaked into this land, and everything that it offers, we should have access to. I don't care what obstacles we come up against, because we have ancestors that had way greater obstacles than we ever had. I couldn't have lived back then. I probably would have been dead early because I would have been so hostile. But maybe not, because it was so treacherous that you were just trying to survive. We have HBCUs because of the expertise of our people. We have patents and inventions and expertise in every area of life, but we just don't have the pride that we once had. And that pride is going to circumvent all of that other. In fact, that's why they tear us down, because they don't want us to get that pride. That's why they tear down BLM. They tore down Say It Loud, I'm Black and I'm Proud. They tear down everything we do that says that we are proud. They take it as an offense to them, which I don't disrespect no white person at all. Not at all. But I think it's time for us to start looking at our own house and cleaning up our own house. Forgetting about, I'm not calling her, I'm not calling her, baby mama. I'm not calling him a deadbeat dad. I'm not doing that no more. That's right. Because that does nothing but pull us down. I wish that we can get to a community again. Brothers, unite. We had the Million Man March, and I don't know what the initiatives came out of that, but we got to get back to that. Women will fall in line when they see men stand up, and I lay my plane.
You're 100% right, sister, but it has to take real men. And first of all, thank you for that, because that was eloquently said, and I truly appreciate it, and you just was putting stamps on every page. So I truly appreciate you, and thank you for that. Sister Andrea, welcome in. Okay, I'm going to go. Ooh, excuse me. Savvy, you with me?
Hi, good morning. Good morning, everybody. My thoughts were, when I heard you say, how come you can't walk around with a hoodie on and be respected? And I have to say, even me as a woman of color, I even get triggered when I see men walking around with a hoodie on, and I blame it not just on society, and it's just the world we live in now. We are so programmed to where anyone with a hoodie on and a mask is like you're automatically dangerous, you're a robber, you're a killer. You never know. As a woman walking around, am I going to get attacked? Is he after me? Is he going to rob me? Is he going to carjack me? I'm guilty of that, and I hate that I even feel that way about a lot of our youth, because I have a son, a black son. I'm sorry, I don't know if I can say that word, but I don't want him looked at like that. And I honestly believe a lot of the youth walking around, they do evoke fear in people just because of the way they look. But it's not just their fault; it's society, the way we're looked at in hip hop, the way that we're televised, the way that lifestyle is glamorized, and also just look at how different things are now. Like now, you get in trouble for going in the store without a mask. Before it used to be like when COVID, oh, you don't have a mask. Before that, you better not go in the store with a mask. You'll be arrested because they'll think you're robbing the place. And now you got to bring bags in the store. Before that, you were suspicious. You'd be suspicious of being seen holding a bag. So we're just in different times now, and it's just I agree with the lady that spoke before me that we do need to get back to just get recentered and just focus, because everything is kind of like switched around right now. Like we literally don't know if we're coming or going because of the times we're in. I agree with the caller that said that, the hip hop culture has led us kind of like, it started out as a good thing and it kind of got derailed along the way. And that's unfortunately what a lot of youth look up to. And they glamorize that lifestyle and kind of made things the way they are now, like the way we're depicted and the way we're seen. Even as women and men, no one expects the best of you. They don't see the excellence. They see, you can't be this or that. You have to be a stripper or a dancer or a drug dealer. They don't see you, oh, you might be a YouTuber if you're dressed a certain way. You might go in the store wearing a t-shirt and jeans and a hoodie because you don't have to dress up every day and go to work. I mean, it's just this, we're just in a totally different world right now as far as the way we're depicted. So, I mean, everyone that spoke has a point. So I'll land my plane there.
And it's something, excuse me, we're talking about that rap music, right? I just want to make a statement that I'm going to come to you, Helen, and we're going to kind of wrap this up a little bit. We have to understand the industry destroyed rap music. They destroyed it because they don't want messages anymore. If you think about some of the rappers back then that was actually spewing messages, there was a message behind what they were saying. They were actually teaching, like us black people, about self-destruction, how we were destroying ourselves. They didn't want those messages coming across. They were like, wait a minute, these black people, they're saying something, sending a message through music, and these people are actually, and if you think about it, back then we were actually pretty much hand in hand. But they was like, whoa, wait a minute. And you gotta also understand these rappers wasn't making the money back then that they're making now. So what the industry did, we're gonna line their pockets. If we give them more, they can shut up. If we commercialize it, then if we can control what they are saying, we can stop them from uniting. And that's what they do regardless the fact. Everything that we do, they weasel their ways, find their way to get up in here and break it up. They cause so much, and it's to the point where it's almost brainwashed, where we are at the point where we automatically just cause division in our own selves. Because why? Oh, because now it became a jealousy thing. Back then we didn't care what another brother had. We actually saluted that stuff. But now it's to the point where oh he got this, he think he better than me, or I got this and I'm not trying to help you get to where you need to get to, brother, because look, I had to go up this. But no, if you made it, you should be able to help your fellow man get where you are. But the problem is we don't want nobody getting more than what we have. But I'm gonna leave that there. Helen, I know you wanted to speak because you've been wanting to speak for a minute, so now the floor is yours.
Okay, social media has to do a lot, and it's sad. I went to the store yesterday, and I've been in restaurant, I've been to different places, and I was an educator to begin with. I've been retired for 10 years, but it just hurts my heart, literally. I mean, it's like squeezing my heart every time I see families looking at each other, talking to each other. You go to a restaurant, give me a break, 30 minutes, give your child minutes, look at their eyes and talk to each other. I went to a store yesterday and this little boy, mom, look at this, mom, look at this. And the stupid lady, I wanted to smack her phone off her hand, ignoring the child. I was with my grandson. He's 7 years old. He talked my ear off, and it was so cute. And I see this with Hispanic. I'm Latina. So I see this with Black kids. I see it with Hispanic kids. I see it with white kids. I see it all kinds of race. The adults with the phone, they don't want to pay attention to the child. And when you least expect it, that child has grown and you have lost that precious moment, okay? That precious moment. I was a single parent. I raised my child and I was literally exhausted. I would come home and I would read to my child, okay? And I'm telling you, I was freaking poor, okay? Freaking poor. Thanks to my mother, I made it and I went to school with her help. But I see it every day, and I'm trying to write a book about taking time to read with your not read, forget the reading. Take time to listen to that child, especially teenagers. You know, they listen to each other with crap, and it just tears my daughter said, Mom, it's society now. No, it's not. We have to take a stand, and as a society, look at your child and listen to them, no matter how boring it is, no matter if you're not interested or not. I remember I used to tell the kids this. It was a lesson. It was eyes, ears, and heart on the speaker. Eyes, ears, and heart on the speaker. Simple. 30 minutes. Put down your phone. Okay, another thing that a lot of people were talking on this panel, and it also made me sad. I have a sister, she's a lesbian, and we have 8 great grandkids and nephews and nieces. She's not out there to convert them into lesbian. Convert them, okay? I'm a child of 6 kids. She was different, and we knew it. And as she tried to go out with guys in high school and college, it didn't work until she accepted herself. Okay? She's not no evil. She's loving. She's a loving person. She doesn't talk to my nephews and nieces, oh, you have to do this and you have to do that. No. Okay? So it's really sad. And people that are real Christian, we accept all kinds of people. All kinds. Okay? That's, I live in Florida, and also our governor has taken away Black history from a lot of books, AP classes, advanced placement, and it's sad because if we don't read the history of this country, it will repeat itself. In Germany, they teach about Holocaust.
Hold on.
Go ahead.
Let me pause there real quick.
Go ahead.
The thing about what this country, because I gotta be, that's a background noise. So here's the thing when it comes to teaching. We could teach people whatever, but see, when I'm talking about my people, Black people, we need to start educating other people on our history. Because what they showing you in books and what they trying to teach these kids, which I probably doubt that they even teach Black history anymore in schools, whatever, they're not teaching them the proper history about Black people. They're teaching them about slavery, what we did, what they did, and certain individuals. But they're not teaching them the entire truth.
Exactly. They don't. They do not.
And this is the reason why we have to walk in a certain manner or have to be looked at or have to put this persona on. Because at the same token, I shouldn't have to walk and should not have to change to fit in it. I fit regardless of the fact I'm an American. I was born and raised here. I pay taxes. I do certain things. I don't have to change who I am to fit in somebody else's lifestyle. Bottom line, I'm living my life the way I choose to live it. If they don't like it and they're uncomfortable with it,
too bad for them.
Then that's a change that they need to make within themselves. Because there's no way in the world I gotta walk on eggshells to please somebody. If I want to wear a hoodie, I'm going to wear a hoodie. If I want to wear my sneakers loose, I can wear my sneakers loose. If I want to dress any way I want to dress, don't judge me based on how I look. That's the only thing I'm trying to tell these white tea people is stop judging us based on the way that we look. And what you see on television is not who I am.
Exactly, but not all white people are like that, okay?
For example, in Japan, because I have a bald head, I'm considered a criminal.
Oh, God.
A lot of y'all didn't know that. A lot of Black men don't know that. You go to Japan and you ain't got no hair, you are considered a criminal. Whether I got a beard or not, I am still looked at as a criminal. There's something wrong with that brother. Why he doesn't have any hair, this, that, and the third. Like, it's crazy, but these are things that these brothers don't understand. And the thing I say when it comes to our children, yes, these parents nowadays are not spending the time to truly educate these kids. Why you think some of these young brothers are walking around with their pants hanging off their ass? Because there's these men or these mothers that are raising these sons or these fathers that are supposed to be in a house or whatever male role model that they have is not a real male role model. Number one, they looking at these videos. These parents are just putting these cell phones and putting these tablets in front of their children, and they going about their business because they want to be on TikTok or they want to be on the internet doing their thing. And then another thing that we are doing as black people, we are exploiting our children on these apps by allowing them to do things that speaking languages that they shouldn't be saying, things that they shouldn't be saying, dressing them the way that they shouldn't even be dressing these little boys and these little girls, exposing them and putting them on these videos and thinking that it's cute and allowing this nonsense to happen and wonder why that these kids, that when your child is being looked at by a grown behind man, you want to get mad. But yet, this is what y'all want to accept. Make it make sense. Anyway, it's 11 o'clock.
Another thing really quickly, there's also, when you see, which as an educator, I understand, as an educator, there's a lot of kids that walk together, like Hispanic walk together, Mexican walk together, Black kids walk together, teenagers, they do that in order to protect themselves.
No. The problem is this. You know what I love? You know what I love about these kids now? What I love about little kids?
Yeah.
The beauty of these little babies, 5 or 6 years old, is because they don't know nothing about racism.
Exactly.
They will sit there and hug each other and do all the things. So here's the sad part. We say we can't learn from kids, but why can't we repeat what they're doing? These children are walking around not looking at color whatsoever. They're looking at each other as individuals. That's right. I see it all the time. When you got little babies walking up playing with each other, but it be the parents. Oh, I don't want you next to that child. You can't play with this kid. Oh, no, move from there because of what? Because you think because my child is black and your child is white, that my child is dangerous as a baby? That's the problem.
Right, exactly. Well,
it stems from the parents. It doesn't stem from anything else but the parent, because you can't blame little kids for loving on each other.
Well, I wish she would visit my house one time, because we have all Blacks, Hispanics, Mexican, and my daughter's best friend is from Trinidad, and my other daughter, I'm telling you, we are multicultural, and that's how this country is a multicultural, okay? And just a lot of people can't accept that. Too bad. God bless you. And remember, okay, just remember, not everyone is evil.
Well, I know this.
And we have to hold each other's hand and be powerful and unite as a community. Black, white, Hispanic, doesn't matter. We have to be together and help each other.
Well,
okay, bless you and take care, everybody. And we have to listen to kids, like you said. I like that a lot. We have to listen to kids and put down phones, please, and look at each other and talk to each other. I mean, there's nothing wrong with technology. Look at me, I'm in my technology right now with you. But there's a time and place. Take care.
Thank you.
Bless you.
Thank you, Helen. Have a blessed day and amazing day.
And I did vote for Harris.
Okay, that's none of my business. Like I said,
I don't like racism. Bye.
Okay, I don't do all that neither, but thank you.
Okay, bye-bye.
All right, have a good day. So, to the rest of my sisters that are up here, I know I'm about to close out. First of all, let me say this. I want to thank everybody that came up here and spoke today. Excellent. Everybody was entitled to their own opinion. Things were said. Some things may have been triggered and some things may have not. But we learned how to conduct ourselves as adults, and that's all I ask when I host my lives. I want to thank everybody that was in the chats, even though some people got a little disrespectful in the chats, but it is what it is. You know, this is what we expect when we host these lives. As content creators, we have to understand that we will have some negative people and some positivity, and when we do these live, but we can't get in our feelings. I do want to say this though. No, I'm not even going to say that. What I'm going to do is this. I'm going to ask each of you ladies that are up here, can you give like just a quick closing remark or closing statement for the people? And we can go forward with through the course of our day. So anybody want to start it? Any closing statement? If you don't have one, it's okay. You can drop down. If you do, respectfully, I'll just ask.
Hey, Velvet Jones, thank you for allowing us up. One thing I actually do is I do a mentor class for young girls between 8 and 18. I just admonish people to do something with somebody, whether it's you helping senior citizens, you helping young boys, you helping young girls, mothers, whatever it is, get involved in your community one way or the other. Go to the library and find out that if there's programs going on. Help somebody buy a home, help somebody with their finances. I think the only way that we can combat the things that are coming at us is to get involved and to create messages that help our families be better. And that's all I'm gonna say.
Well, I did send you a follow, sister, because I loved how you spoke today. And you, like I said, you was putting stamps on stamps on stamps.
Thank you.
So I definitely sent you a follow. So, and I appreciate you coming up on my panel, speaking. And like I said, I give everybody a chance to express themselves and and I value everyone's opinion. So thank you again. And I truly appreciate it. I hope to see you again. Miss Rachel, do you have anything that you would like to share? Okay. Oh, I have to unmute you. I'm about to be like, Mom, you better say something.
Thank you. Because I don't know where my mute button went. Like, I wanted to mute myself and I couldn't mute myself earlier. And I was like, I don't want them to hear all of this stuff in my background. But thank you for having me on. You are a great host. I love the topic today. I do agree that everyone should really get involved and know the facts. We do live in a society that's very emotionally driven. And so just knowing the facts and doing your research is very important. Getting involved, like the sister just said, getting involved is very important. Being a parent is very important, even to other children, because it does take a community to raise these children. We can't, even like I live now, I'm remarried, but being a single mom, it was so hard. It was so hard. So now I'm remarried. But in that process of being a single parent, yeah, it was crazy. I had to find a community to help because raising a boy as a single mom is hard. I don't care what nobody says. You can't really, you can't really raise him to be a man. In this society, you can do your best, but it's nothing like having another male role model there to actually teach him the way that, it is to be a man. It's like a man trying to teach a woman or a girl to be a woman, it just is what it is. So blessings to everyone, blessings and coverings for everyone. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. Well, thank you for joining us, sister. And I appreciate you. Thank you for speaking today. It was good. When I do drop people, and I just want people to know if I drop y'all out the box, don't be mad. This is what I do. So I can get my closing remark. But thank you again for joining. I hope to see you again.
Thank you. You have to drop me too. I don't know why my buttons aren't working.
No, I got you. I got you. So, here we are, the end of my week, and this is my last live of the week. Unfortunately, I got to go back to work for the next 5 days, so I will not be going live for the next 5 days. But I enjoyed this week. I enjoyed the topics that I had this week, and I want to thank each and every person from the bottom of my heart that actually came out on the panel, for all those people this week that came out and spoke, for all the people that came out and supported me this week. And for those that came out in the morning, to wake up in the morning and spend some time with me these past couple hours, listen, I appreciate y'all. I truly do. from the bottom of my heart, I truly appreciate each and every person that came out and actually spent time, because y'all didn't have to, but you did. So I appreciate you. I don't know about any other hosts on here, but me personally, I do. I love your entire being face, and you missed a whole live, sister, because this one, you missed a good live today, sister. But, so, to get back to talk about what I was saying, why am I looked at as a threat instead of an individual? The world that we live in right now, I got you, Andrea. I definitely will. The world that we live in right now, because as a black man, I am looked at as a threat before I am looked at as a regular individual, which is very true. One of the brothers came on this morning and said the exact same thing. He said he was dressed in a suit with a briefcase and had his laptop, jumped on an elevator and stood next to a YT woman, and all she did was shift her purse. Why do we have to live in a world where people are still afraid of us, even though we are dressed in a certain manner? So now, is it really because it's the way that we dress, or is it our skin color? Because if I have on a three-piece suit, or if I am dressed in certain attire, and happen to get on the elevator and there's a YT woman on there and she happens to move her purse, I am going to get up on the next floor. You know why? Because I am in more fear. I am in more fear than she is. And yes, it is definitely their ignorance, but this is where we at. We are still in the age of ignorance, where it's like, how long have you known? You should know right now that in America there are going to be black and there are going to be white people, regardless of the fact wherever you go. There is no such thing as I live in an all white area or I live in an all black area, because as soon as you step outside of that area, you are going to see these people. So it's either one or two things. Either you just want to be racist or you just want to be ignorant. Because that's all it is just pure ignorance. Straight up. You know, deep down inside your heart, that you are offending somebody. But even if you do it, and I don't even get offended. I would just look at that person like, are you that serious? Like, what makes you think I want to do something to you? Just because I am dressed or I look a certain kind of way does not make me a threat. Stop it. Because I am a 6'3", 2 and some change black man does not make me a threat to you. Nor am I a threat to society. But God forbid something was to happen to you and I'm in that area and I happen to help you, then what? Am I still a threat?
No.
Make it make sense. All I say is this: we got to start as a people, period. We got to do better. As black men, we need to really step up. I mean, truly and honestly, we need to start doing more in our communities. We need to step up and stop saying, oh, it takes a village. Well, we need to start the village. We too busy sitting around waiting for these women to do stuff, but we need to start doing stuff as well and stop pointing the finger and stop complaining about it, and let's just get it done. So, instead of sitting around waiting for somebody to set it off, I'm setting it off today. Period. My movement now is for us to do better as black men. So my next few lives, whatever it's going to be, is going to be about how can we change our communities as black men? How can we help our sisters instead of talking about them and treating them a certain way? How can we uplift our sisters? How can we change the narrative on this TikTok app instead of causing division? Because we need to stop causing all this division. We need to stop causing it. We need to start speaking more on how can we unify with each other instead of talking about, oh, he ain't no good. She's this, that, and the third. She's a 304. He's a simp. Well, you know what? Let's fix them from stop being simps and let's help them from stop being 304s. You think? So you know what they say, don't talk about it, be about it? I'm definitely about my business. This is the reason why I do live the way I do. I don't do mess. As you see, when I come up here, I'm actually trying to help us become better adults. By what? I don't like profanity on my live. And I ask people to conduct themselves as adults. It's starting from here. That's it. Conduct yourself as adults. Everybody's opinions matter. These are things that we need to start from so that way we don't have to be so opinionated. You see what I'm saying? Small things. That's it. But listen, may the love of the Lord be with us all until we meet again. In Jesus' name, amen. I gotta run out. I just hope everybody have an amazing day. If you didn't vote, go out and vote. Like I said before earlier, whoever you vote for, you don't have to turn around and tell people, oh, I voted for this person, because it's none of nobody's business who you vote for. At the end of the day, we just gotta we gotta look at it like this. When it comes to this presidency, I just say that we need to pray before we go into them, before people need to pray before they go into these ballot boxes. And don't go in there with the thought, with the fear of, oh, this person, but follow God. Let him lead your hand to make the right decision, who he needs for you to vote for, not who you need to vote for. Think about it that way. Who God wants me to vote for. Let me pray on it. Lord, just guide my hand and guide my mind to make the right decision for the person who's going to run this country for the next 4 years. Because whoever wins, whoever loses, got to be a winner, there got to be a loser. And we got to deal with that person for the next 4 years. So it is what it is. Peace and blessings, everybody. Go and touch some grass. Tell somebody you love them. Give to those that are in need. That's all I say. And for us brothers, let's start doing more for our community. Let's start doing more for each other. Let's do more for each other. So when we go into these lives, these what they call these trigger lives, or the other side of TikTok, go on those sides and start spreading the positive message. Don't join the rhetoric that they're doing, sitting there talking about each other and spreading propaganda, putting other people's business on the strip. Go in there and change the narrative and ask them, listen, we as black people, why we always got to sit up here and talk about this nonsense? And this is the reason why these people, listen, this is the reason why these other races are looking at us the way that they do, because we sitting up on these platforms downing each other and talking bad about each other. But then you want to speak on unity and why we can't get along. You know why we can't get along? Because we're allowing all these other negative people to come up here and sit there while other people are in their panel talking about each other, cursing and carrying on and spreading nonsense. That is all hatred. There is no unity there. But people promote that nonsense. And you know what the sad part about it is? When our own kind go in there and start liking it because it's rhetoric. They won't come in here. I got to damn near beg people just to tap my screen, which I really don't care about that. But you got people that will go into other people's panels who spew nothing but negative. There's nothing positive about what's going on in there, but they want to hear the gossip. Oh, this is juicy. I got to hear this. Listen, black people, stop worrying. We got to get out of this. I got to hear the gossip crap. I want to sit here and listen to all this. No. We got to stop, because it's not going to get better, and it's not going to change. And we're never going to change. We are becoming more toxic than ever. We are toxic people. I'm sorry to put it that way. It's only a handful of us that want to do right, but the majority of us want to do wrong, because what they say, negativity and sex sells. So, you know what? This person's live. Oh, they live be popping. You ever go to the messy side of TikTok? Well, let's stop having a messy side and clean it up. Because all we're going to be keep continuously looked at, and this is the reason why I said what I said, the reason why I'm looked at the way I'm looked at. We got to change that narrative and change that perspective, people. As black people, we got to change it. It got to change from somewhere. I would never host a messy live. I would never host a live where either we can talk about something where we can actually have a way to change it, to change that narrative. That's what it's all about, changing the narrative. We got to change our stance. We got to change our train of thought. We got to change our walk and get all that negative energy out of our heart, and want to be around all that crap, because it ain't no good. Because you know what the sad part about it is? You know, when you around negative stuff, you become negative because it becomes a part of you. That's because right. You're around it so much. But when you start being around positive and like-minded people who want to do right, you start doing right, you start thinking right, you start acting right.
Amen.
Think about it. So I encourage y'all, some of y'all, go and look in the mirror and look at the mirror and ask yourself, who are you? Because do you truly know yourself? Who am I? What's up, Omni? I love my sister too. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got a family of people right now on TikTok. I got a family. I know you do. That's why I respect you, sister. For real. Like, I have a TikTok family that even though we may go through stuff, but we still family. And we're not all black. We are all different nationalities. But I love them all truly. Whether we can get along or not, I still rock with them. And I'm still cool with them. I don't have animosity nor hatred for people, no matter what. But I also will check y'all in a minute. The same way people can check me, I can get checked and take it. I will check them as well. But we respect each other, and that's what it boils down to. It's all about respect. It gotta start small in order to grow bigger. So with that being said, I gotta run. Omni, I salute you, my sister. You already know how I feel about y'all, you and Jay. You know I love y'all dearly, for real. And that's my little sister right there as well. So, respectfully, y'all, enjoy this day on purpose. Thank y'all for allowing me to speak to y'all today. And I still got 40-something people in here and I'm still getting likes. Amazing. Amazing. It's to the point where I don't want to leave, but I gotta go. I got things to do. And like I said, go out there and vote. You know, do the things. If you don't feel like voting, you don't have to. Don't let nobody tell you, oh, this, that, and the third. It's up to you. Me personally, I don't know what I'm doing right now. I'm still weighing my options on who and why. But I'm gonna leave that there. Listen, you guys stay great, stay amazing, and enjoy this day. I don't want to leave, but I feel like I have to. And this is definitely my last day, so I'm gonna miss y'all for the next couple days. But I'll be back on Monday. So look for me Monday morning. Same time, same bat channel, but I might, don't get me wrong, somewhere this week I might squeeze in a live later on in the evening just to stay relevant to y'all. Peace and blessings, y'all.
Thank you for the follow. And who else? We got Johnny. Thank you for the follow. Any of you guys are just following, if you want to please